Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi Showbie with me, Roger Fish. No, wait, it's not Roger Fish. What am I talking about? Roger Fish. He couldn't make it today. I'm sorry. Roger Fish is... the Roger Fish Show is over on a different channel, I'm afraid. This isn't the Roger Fish Show. This is the official one and only Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi Showbie with me. Yes, the blessed Roger Fish. No, Roger Fish can't... Eric, can you change the auto cue? Roger Fish couldn't make it. So sorry about that. I thought so. Thank you. Hello, yes, it's the 17th of June 2020 and it's 8 o'clock. I'm in the back room of a terraced house in Worthing, in West Sussex, here in jolly old Blighty at the foot of the South Downs and the edge of the English Channel, where from all over people are swimming trying to get here just so that they can say, I saw Richard Vobes. People do that, you know. They come over and they sign their name on my head, which is very irritating. I wish they wouldn't. Let's go and have a look, see who is in the Vobosphere. Is there anybody out there in the Vobosphere? Hello, say now. Hello. 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 How are you? Jeff Kellison is out there. Hello, Jeff Kellison, who is a master of magnificence. He really is. He's managed now to get a video card. Woo, for the new computer. Super duper, he says. He's going to stick it in the post on the 4th of July with fireworks, sending out messages of independence. I noticed the significance of the 4th of July. Thank you, Jeff. The lovely Judith is there. Good evening to everybody, she says, making sure that nobody's going to sort themselves into a wrong heap. And Steve G, the lovely Julia is also there. Roy Ballinger, Days of Yore, Ernie the Milkman, Peter Lowry, good evening to you. Ed Shush is there too. And we have Glastonbury Gabriel and Jerden Tadicken. Hello, Jerden Tadicken. It's been a long time. What have you been up to over there in Jerden Tadicken land? And Laura Riddle, how are you, young Sorry, my phone is doing lots of backups. It always decides to do this halfway through the show. It decides it wants to tell me all the messages that I missed. There's got to be a way of silencing that. Probably is. I can't remember how to do it off the top of my head because it's an old phone, you see. It's an old phone back technology. In the days of candlestick telephonography is what that one is. We also have Andrew Norris. What ho, everyone. Hello, Andrew. Nice to see. Oh, dear, look, I'm wearing the wrong coat. I'm wearing the wrong coat. Shut up. I'm wearing the wrong coat for Andrew Norris. I do apologise. Ed Loud says, sounds like someone only just turned their phone on. Yes, well, I did turn it on about half an hour ago. It's on charge. But maybe the Snignal has just picked up and it's gone, I'm tuning in to Crystal Palace. Are you receiving?
Yes, Crystal Palace here, receiving loud and clear.
Can you send me the messages from Crystal Palace, please?
Yes, I certainly can. Hold fire. It'll take 30 seconds or more to get them over to you. We're sending them by semaphore.
Send it by semaphore? Yes, a very good book. I've got that on my shelf.
Yes, I know. That's why you said it.
Yes, thank you. Anyway, hello, welcome along. Now, we've got three splendid videos, I have to say, that we will be playing in tonight's show. Hoping only to go for an app. Yes, thank you. Hoping only to go for... Every time I say something jolly, the phone recognises it. It's been programmed. Every time I say something truthful, jolly and sexually exciting, it does that little noise, which is absolutely marvellous, and we're very thankful that it does do that. Otherwise, it would probably make raspberries, which wouldn't be very good. In fact, it'd be very bad. So now tonight's theme, I was thinking of this, racking my brains all day long. I stamped up and down the South Downs, thinking, what can we talk about tonight? That's no good. No, that's no good. Yes, thank you. That was no good. This is no good. I'm throwing this out with the bath water, this with the dishwater, that dishcloth with the other after water. Who knows what it was? And I came up with, I thought, I know, I've got it. I have got it. I promptly forgot what it was by the time I got... Yes, I did promptly forget it. Why are you doing this? Why? I'm going to... Yes, thank you. Any more? Go on, one more. Just for the hell of it. Send me one more message. You see? Won't do it now. Won't do it. See, it's very sensitive. Very sensitive little phone. Anyway, topic of tonight... There you go, look. That's it. So, the topic of tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I will get this out if it kills me. Oh, wait. No, I'm going. Goodbye. On time. Well done. Yeah, no, the theme of tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is where are you going to go as soon as you're allowed to go and stay? Oh, there's another phone. Another one's going over. Why are you all going off? This is like some madhouse. My phone is talking to the other phone. What is going on? Why are you sending messages? Hang on, let me just have a look to see if there's any messages being sent and what it is. This is ridiculous. Let's have a look. 16 messages over here. Oh, now I've got to back it up. No, I don't want any of this backed up. Done. Bog off. Wait a minute. Maybe it just loads up these things when I'm not looking. I put it on silent. There we go. Easiest thing. Because I won't know if somebody makes a phone call, but I'll be aware when it'll light up in front of me. The theme for tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I know we'll get to this. The theme for tonight is... where are you going to go when you can stay overnight? In other words, are you going to go on holiday? Are you going abroad? Are you going somewhere in this country? When you're allowed to get away, are you going? Have you planned something? Do you think you will? When will you go? Will you go immediately? Will you go a little bit later on? Where will you go? We've all gone out for day trips now. We've been able to do that and all that's fine and dandy. But when you're actually going to go away for a night or 2 nights or 3 nights or a week, are you going to go into the Bermuda Triangle or the Isle of Wight? I want to know. Where will it be? Give me a call on the number. But before you do that, we're going to play in our first video. I want you to think about that before you phone, and we will play in our first video. So let's go into the video box and see if that's all working. Oh, yes it is. Fantastic. So let's find out where the travelling duo have been, the Barry and Faden. Where have they been out to? Oh, yes. They've been to a very interesting place. Have a look at this.
Hello all, today we are searching for Wilder's Folly.
Yeah, Wilder's Folly is an old tower, abandoned derelict tower near Thiel in Berkshire.
Tower just over there.
Yeah, this tower was built in 1769, and is now a dovecote. We'll get back to you when we get closer. The tower is located on the top of Nunhide Hill. I don't know why it's called Nunhide. Maybe they used to hide nuns when they were at risk. But the tower was built by a gentleman called Henry Wilder. Even though it's now only a dovecote, it's quite an imposing building. It was just built for the reasons that they like to see the tower from 2 of the different families' houses. They could both see it from their house on top of the hill. Found a little woodland next to the Folly that we're exploring. Don't know where it comes out. Never been to this area before.
Yeah, you didn't get to see it, but pretty much wherever we go now, we're going to just see Hannington Transmitter.
Yeah, we can see the Hannington Transmitter from here as well.
Because it feels like when you go there up close, and you can literally see it everywhere.
The blackberries are finally coming out. At least I think they're blackberries. The area here is quite beautiful considering we are so close to a horrible industrial estate with a Dunelms and IKEA on it that sell them horrible soulless furniture which matches their horrible soulless building. You wouldn't believe that's around just a few minutes walk from here. We're quite near Reading as well, which is not my favourite town or city in the world, but it's quite beautiful here.
Here's some of my thoughts about Nuns Hill. So it's quite a nice place. As you already know, you can see like Hannington transmitter. I just wanted to point that out quickly, but yeah, it's quite a nice place, despite the fact that there's like a IKEA nearby.
IKEA.
Yeah, IKEA, there we go. Yeah, but except for all of that, it's quite a nice place. You can't see the IKEA. I'd like to thank you so much for watching, everybody. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Goodbye all.
Goodbye. I'll leave you with all this junk and rubbish that these disgusting people from the nearby cities come and dump. It's all in the woods, mattresses, bins, washing up stuff. It's disgusting. Anyway, goodbye.
I wonder where my mattress got up to. Do you know, I had a very uncomfortable night last night and was thinking, God dear, my bed's a bit bored. Turns out someone nicked my mattress, so that's where it is. Nuns Hill. Everybody loves a good folly, don't they? A good folly. And the idea it was done by two people, or two families, so that they could both see it on a distant hill, I think is absolutely great. How marvellous is that? I imagine at one point you could go upstairs and peer off the top. But now, as you say, it's a dovecot, so I guess they can't. What a lovely spot in the world. Good old Barry and Faden. They get out to some interesting places. Far more interesting places than I ever seem to get out to. But hey-ho. I'm hoping to catch up with Barry and Faden sometime soon, perhaps in July, which will be good. Because the pubs will be open then. And after the 4th of July, ladies and gentlemen, well, maybe we can stay overnight at places. Does anyone know when bed and breakfasts will be in operation again and hotels open and people can go into caravan sites or even on their canal boats and things like that? Very much looking forward to that. The lovely Julia and I have booked a canal boat trip on, in October this year, and very much looking for that. Hopefully up on the bit of the canal that is, it's on the Oxford Canal, I think. That's where it is. Close to where LTC Rolt went on his very first excursion on Cressy, I think it was. Anyway, so that's what we've got planned. How about you? Where are you going to go? What have you got planned? I'd love to know. You can give me a call now. Let me just get back into the bit where you can give me a call. There we are. 0793 474 6790 is the number. Edwardian lady has sent some hearts. That's very nice. Thank you very... Next time, can you send me some tarts? I can put them in the oven. I can make a bluebell? No, not a bluebell pie. A blackcurrant pie or a blackcurrant tart with custard. Actually, I'm trying to grow some rhubarb. I don't know if Sean is out there, but the rhubarb doesn't look so good at the moment. I need to do a picture of it and put it on the screen. Say, what's the matter with it? It doesn't seem to be recovering from the postal journey that it had, but who knows, it might do. So where are you going to go? Let's have a look. Lots of people saying some nice things about the video, which is great. But we do have a phone call. Let's find out who that is. And we'll do that this way. Put on the old headphones. Hello to you. Who's calling the Vobe?
Good evening, Rosie. It's Gabriel.
Hello, Gabriel. How the devil are you?
Very well, thank you. Very well, thank you. I thought I'd ring up and answer your question of the day, as it were.
Yes, please do. That's why it's posed, you know.
Yes. Well, I'm going to start by saying where I'd like to go, and I'm going to tell you where I probably will end up going.
Ah, right. Clacton.
I would like to go and visit my mum or my daughter.
And where?
I'm not going to be able to do either of those because they're both on medication that takes all of their immune systems away. My daughter's on chemotherapy, my mum's on some other thing. So I'm not going to be able to go near them for the foreseeable future.
Where are they? Where are they based?
Mum's near Shrewsbury. She's up in a little place called Guildfield, just over the border, near Rodney's Pillar.
Oh,
I
know Rodney's Pillar
from my front door.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, and my daughter lives in Torquay.
Oh, right. She can't see the big erection from Torquay.
Which big erection is that?
Rodney's Pillar.
Oh, no.
She can't see that from Torquay, whereas your mum has the luck of the draw to be able to see this massive tower, this edifice.
But then, of course, my mum can't see Torquay Harbour, which is a bit of a bugger.
Oh, yeah, that's a shame. So it's a long distance. They're quite distant apart, aren't they? Torquay, though, very nice. Very nice, yes, in small doses. On the English Riviera. My sister's not too far away from that. She's in Devon, down at Newton Abbot.
Oh, I used to live in Totnes, so I know that area very well.
Ah, she does say things, not very pleasant things, about the people in Totnes.
Yeah, she's probably quite correct. It's another Glastonbury, really.
It is. That is what she was saying. I didn't want to say that, but she said it was that sort of, there's a lot of affected people over there.
There are.
But
yes,
I've not been there. It's sort of on its own little hillock, isn't it?
Yes, it would be worth doing. If you're down in that direction, it'd be worth going for. It would be worth a Vobes Explores because it is an interesting town. If you ignore all the mumbo jumbo and just go for the history, it's fascinating and it's got a lot going on for it.
Yeah,
it's quite an interesting place to look at.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it does look fascinating architecturally. So they're the places that you can't go. You can't go and see your mum, bless her, and your sister. Did you say?
My daughter.
Your daughter, yeah. So it's your daughter in Torquay. So, okay. So
where will I go? I should probably go and visit my friend who lives in Lancashire.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
what?
He lives in Ormskirk, near where I used to live. I used to know him when I lived up there, and we still keep in touch.
Oh, well, that's nice. That's nice. It's nice. Take an umbrella.
Oh, yes, I do. And Eccles cakes.
And Eccles cakes, yeah. No, that's good. Because I know my ex-girlfriend, I suppose, Harriet, the lovely Harriet.
In Shrewsbury, yes.
Yeah, in Shrewsbury. She, her father lives in Lancashire. And she says, it's always raining up there. I'm sure that's not true. And Mark Donny McLeod is, I don't know if he's with us this evening. He was with us earlier. Perhaps he's on his bike when he's sorting out his panniers, as you do. But he would be able to tell us. But it's lovely. It is a lovely place, and I do want to go back and do some more exploration. Certainly climb up Pendle Hill. That's
Pendle Hill's worth a visit. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, so there's lots of place. What about abroad? Would you be interested in going anywhere abroad?
I have a very great fondness for Bruges. I've had some very good nights out in Bruges. I like it there a lot.
In Bruges?
Yes, I'll probably head back to Northern Europe. I wouldn't mind ending up living in Northern Europe because...
Really?
Sadly, I think this country's going to hell in a handcart. And I just think there's a lot more better places to live, really. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that discussion.
No.
I wanted to say, your video about your life story.
Yes.
Brilliant. Keep it up. Fantastic.
Oh, really? Do you know? No, go on. You carry on.
You hit on a point because it's a project that I've wanted to do for ages. There's a couple of things here in Glastonbury. We used to have the Somerset and Dorset Railway coming here, and we also used to have a thing called a Fairfield, where the annual fair used to take place. Now it's a Morrison's, where Morrison's takes place. And I just think I love social history and interviewing old folk about their stories, about, like, I wanted to do one about the railway workers of the town.
Yes.
Before they're still here, because these guys have got fascinating stories, and these social documentaries I think are brilliant.
Yes.
Something I really like. I did put out the word, but not really much happened.
It is difficult to get people who are not used to talking in front of a camera to talk candidly and openly. You know, they might say, oh, well, you know, because a lot of people think that what they do is not interesting. And I think that's, you know, it can be how you tell it. Of course, you know, how you tell something is going to make it more interesting. But some people's histories are just, even if they say them in the most monotone thing, and they say, you know, I used to work on the railway as a night watchman or whatever it is. And if they get into the detail of it, that's the thing that makes it fascinating, because we are so far removed now from those old analog ways of doing things and thinking that it's that old way. Even, I mean, you know, and I'm not terribly old, and you go back and you suddenly go, oh yeah, golly, in order if you were out and about, in order to make a phone call and communicate with somebody, you needed tuppence or tenpence, and you would go into the phone boxes we see on the street that we think, oh, look at that lovely K6 phone box, that's an iconic thing of Britain, but we never use.
No, we don't. Although the libraries are all things in villages now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Repurposed.
Repurposed.
Yeah, I totally agree. You said the thing is, I mean, I forgot what I was going to say now. That's unusual. Oh well.
But to try and encourage people to actually do something like that and talk about their early life, you know, well, their whole life, you know, because I think the other thing is that when we are young, we have ideas of what we want to do. Well, sometimes we do. Some people don't.
Grand plans.
And our life takes, on the whole, such a weird route to get to where we are. And we may be grateful for where we are, or we may be on the if only track. And, you know, it can be, it can be heart-wrenching, and, you know, we all have things. But I think it's useful, as you say, A, to record it, but B, it's quite cathartic to get it out. So I'd want to try and encourage people to do it, but whether they'll use my platform on the Board Explorer Facebook page as a place to put. I wish I had a server that was cheaper so that I could host more videos, because I just feel, you know, once you put it on Facebook, they've got the control. They could turn it off and turn it on whenever they like, and it would be nice to have it all on a website that's not run by big corporates.
I will send you an email after the show with a link to the people I use as servers, and they are superb. I will not talk about it now. I'll just send you
thank you very much. Yeah, that would be good.
Remember what I was going to say? I used to do entertainments in old folks' home. I used to go around to various old folks' home and sort of jump up and down and act like an idiot and keep them amused for an hour. And one of them in the local town here, I live in Glastonbury, there was a lady there, and her husband was the last signalman at Glastonbury Station.
Wow.
I used to sit and talk to her for hours. You know, I'd go and do what I do, and then we'd just sort of sit down. Fascinating. And there are still people alive. The Somerset and Dorset Railway, I'm not going to go into great detail now, started in Glastonbury and went up to Burnham and Highbridge, and then it was extended later. But that original line, which ended up becoming the branch, there are people alive now who were living in the crossing cottages who operate the gates out in the middle of nowhere, so remote out on the levels, that the trains used to bring them little jerry cans of water each day. They had no running water. It was delivered on the footplate of the train.
And
the train used to stop and just hand their water on the way past.
Can you imagine somebody now getting that job and going, what, no water? I'm not doing it, mate.
Water.
I'm not doing it.
Nowhere, yeah. Absolutely.
You know.
And the pride these people kept their houses and the gates, it was like, what a different way of life, a different England, wasn't it? Totally.
A different England, yeah, definitely. Thank you, Gabriel, for that. And we have your video in the pipeline, but going to play it a little bit later because we've got Mr. Norris's interesting video.
That was excellent last week from Mr. Norris.
I know.
That was in a league of its own. I'm thinking, what can I do to come up with something that even comes close to that? And I can't think of anything for the moment.
Well, you could do the naked puppet theatre. You know, with just fingers, just fingers.
Yes, finger Fred. You get in trouble for that. Anyway, on that note,
yes.
I'll talk to you later.
Take care, Gabriel. Lovely to talk to you. There we go.
Look forward to meeting you here when you come to visit on your first visit after
Very much looking forward to it.
Ta-da, buddy.
Take care. Bye-bye. There we go, the lovely Gabriel there. How about that? Talking to old people, very, very good idea. finding out about the old ways and the things that people put up with, but they didn't moan about. We moan about these things. We can moan about. I suppose we can moan about things so much easier. We just sit on Facebook and go, "Oh, my life is terrible. It's really. Come on, tell me it's not. Give me some likes. Give me some R's. Give me some O's. Oh, my life. Oh, my word." And you find out what's the matter. "Oh, somebody looked at me across the road with a sort of slanty face." A what? A slanty face. What's a slanty face? "Oh, crooked on there, they're crooked like this. They looked at me and my life is over now." Anyway, an idea, Richard, says Sean's Kitchen Gardens. He says, put it onto your YouTube as unlisted videos and then post to your website. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, that's true. Turn an old PC into your server, says the Veg Grower podcast. They talked to somebody about that who said that's not as easy as it sounds, because you've got to have it going on all day long, and you've got to have the internet going to it, and if it goes off, there's this, that, and the other. But I'm sure it's all possible. Mark Selwood says, "I absolutely love Richard's life story." Oh, you wait to get to the harrowing bits. Oh, the harrowing bits. Oh, it'll have your eyes. Wait. No, wait. That's... Elaine Whitelock says, "Yes, I agree with Gabriel. Your life story is very interesting." It's interesting you say that. I mean, it's very kind of you to say that. I put that out as a bit of an emergency. I just needed some time out. The last few days I've been working quite hard, and I just needed some time out from everything. And I thought, well, I've got to make a video. I promised myself, as well as everybody else, but I promised myself to put a video out every day on the Bald Explorer. And I thought, well, what can I do? I sort of, if I'm not out and about in the countryside with lots of edits and music and sound effects and nice title, whatever, I feel like I've let everybody down. And they go, "Oh, he's just done something at home." And I thought, oh, well, I'll do the story of my life then, and call it Heritage, because it's my heritage, so it's loosely based on heritage. And we'll just tentatively see how it goes. So I haven't really looked at the comments and the reaction to it. I don't even know what the views are. I'm not overly a bit nervous about looking. Some videos you go, well, I better not look at that, because they may all say, "Oh, this is a bit lame, Mr. Vobes. This is a bit lame." We'd much rather have it when you're sort of carousing around the downs with the sheep and the this, that, and the other. We have a phone call, ladies and gentlemen. We have a phone call. Hello to the phone call person calling up on the Vobie One-Eyed. Hello.
"I want to tell you a story."
Oh, yeah. Go on, tell me a story.
I forgot who the hell I was then.
Is it Sean by any chance?
I'm stuck in a shed in Crystal Palace, sending you those messages.
Oh, hello, calling Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, are you receiving, Roger?
Coming in, Roger.
Ah, good old Roger at Crystal Palace. Don't break the glass, that's all I say.
No. Now, I've heard on the grapevine you've got a bit of a rhubarb.
I have got a bit of rhubarb, but it doesn't seem to be perking up. Am I expecting something? Am I expecting miracles?
Now, did I hear you say, or did I dream it?
You dreamt
it. Put it into some ericaceous compost.
I don't know what that means, but that's what I've done.
Well, that's wrong.
It's the only compost I had. I was in the supermarket, whose name I nearly gave away, but everybody knows what it is. And they had compost, and it was a big bag of cheap stuff. And I thought, it says compost. So back I went, put all my everything
into one basket.
Yeah.
Ericaceous compost is basically a compost that's full of acid.
Full of what?
Acid.
Why would you want? Why would you? What kind of sulfuric acid? Is it what the the acid bath murderer used when he
so
sort
if
of
you had a
melted?
hydrangea that you wanted to see blue, or a maple that you wanted to see orange, you would give it a bit of acid soil. So what you need to do is check it out.
All right.
And get a bag of normal compost, chuck it in there, and it'll be fine.
Oh, right, okay. I better go hot-footed to Morrison's. To the supermarket tomorrow.
But just talking about, I've written 2 social history books.
Have you?
Time. And I find the most fascinating people are the ones that start the conversation off by saying, "I've got nothing to tell you.
Yes.
I haven't done a thing in my life."
Yeah, and then you
and
probe.
Then you start talking about sort of like, tell me when you went to school. And they'll say, oh, well, we didn't go to school in our day.
Yes.
And I interviewed a woman who was 100 years old, and the stories that she came out to say, because in her day, and I'm putting a video together at the moment about this topic. In her day, Sunday was a Sunday, if you know what I'm trying to get at.
A religious day.
It was a day where you didn't do anything at all. And I think that this COVID situation, the lockdown situation, has given people time. It's given them an excuse to sit down and just breathe. And I feel that having a Sunday where every shop is closed gives people that sort of day to take a breath. And I'd be very interested to see figures to see whether mental health has got worse since shops started to be 24 hours a day, because people don't have the opportunity to switch off at the moment.
No, well, I think it would be very difficult to work out the mental health thing, because locking people up for weeks on end isn't going to help your mental health. But if you were able to measure it by having, as you say, a day off a week, as opposed to not having a day off a week, then it depends how desperate you are for money and whether you need to work.
Yes.
Which obviously, in an ideal world, but we've never had an ideal world. We've just had a world where that's where we used to do things, but we now do these things to try and help people who haven't got so much money. But then you've got bosses who will say, well, in that case, you can all come to work on Sunday.
Yeah.
Or lose your job.
Like, I don't know if it's the same up in London than it was in Wales, but Thursday afternoon the shops would close, and then Saturday afternoon shops would close about 1 o'clock and they wouldn't open until Monday. So you were forced into planning a bit.
Yes.
And sort of thinking, what do I need to get now for Sunday? Whereas these days, I think people would go out and buy £100 worth of food because they just wouldn't have that skill.
Yes, no, that's true. I mean, I do remember shops that had the early closing, and you'd wander down into town. You go, I just got to nip to Bunce's and I need these little screws to do this project. And you wander down, and lots of other shops are open. And then there's the one shop that you're going into. You go, oh, bloody hell, it's early closing. Something early closing, isn't it? And I've come in the afternoon. Oh, for goodness sake.
But then you wouldn't be late the next time.
Well, you wouldn't. It's very true. And I did have that situation with the post office when I went down to the post office and they were shutting at 3 because they were in W.H. Smith's down here in Worthing. They've moved now. Right. And so I got there at 2 minutes past 3, not knowing that they shut at 3. And I said, oh, come on, it's 2 minutes past 3. It's all right. More than my job's worth. You can't come in here. No, it's 2 minutes. We've shut everything down. It's all go. I said, but there's people in there. He said, no, we're not letting anyone else in. Go away. Come back tomorrow. I said, but I've got to. This was when I was posting something to Croatia. Funnily enough, I was posting, and I the first day I went, oh, but I'm filming the next day. I'm not going to have a chance. And I got hold of the bloke by the neck, and he was blue like this, and I thought, oh dear, but not tell anybody.
Well, on that day that I sent you that parcel, I said to the post office man, in the conversation, this needs to get there as soon as, tomorrow morning. And he said, he'd give me the price of what it was for the first class. Yeah. I paid him. Yeah. And then I said, right, I'll get there tomorrow then. Oh, no, the last post was gone. Like, well, you could have told me that before you took my money.
Yes, of course. Last post. It sounds like something from oh, come on, Will Hay, a Will Hay film. Last post is gone, mate. Last train's gone. What do you mean the last train's gone? Last train's gone. When did it go? Went to last week or something. Yeah.
But all this ties into people have got stories that they don't.
They do
realise they've got stories.
You're quite right. People have got, definitely, every life has got a story.
You are of an age where you will remember that at 11:30 in the evening, we all had to stand up for the Queen's speech before the little dot came on the TV.
Oh, I was never allowed up that late. I was never allowed up that late. Come on. But you're quite right. Yes, the national anthem would be played. And it used to be played in cinemas. and theatres, wasn't it? And at the end of the film, suddenly you're sitting there and you're just saying, "Oh, that was a very nice James Bond film with Sean Connery or whatever." And then suddenly the next minute you're standing up. Everyone's standing up. What's this? Oh, it's a national anthem.
Maltesers would go all over the floor.
Yes, that's it. Oh dear. Come Walk With Me says, I don't have any story.
The basic of this, the essence of this call is, we've all got a story.
We've all got a story. I can't tell you a story. Thank you, Sean.
All the best.
You look after yourself.
Ta-ta for now.
Bye-bye for now. There we are. Lovely Sean telling us that we've all got a story. And we have a story for you now, ladies and gentlemen, care of the Andrew Norris moment. So let me just get back into the video section. Hang on, let's turn that off and do that. And now over to something completely different.
What ho, Vobesters? Do you remember this?
Where did you get that from?
What? Oh, well, the jumper.
New jumper. Yeah.
I got it from the new outlet store, the Norris store that we've got here. They've got
want one.
comedy.
I want one.
You want one?
Yeah.
I'm going to send you this.
Dobar dan. Super, hvala. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful. Great. It's perfect. So, I want to tell you a story. You recognise this chap? Not the cheeky chappie dancing in the background. Yes, this is our favourite Richard Vobes. How we all love to watch his videos as he wanders through England's green and pleasant land. I love to see the English landscape through his eyes, the trees, the fields, the woods and churches. But I find this sweatshirt too obtrusive. I can't see the wonderful views with that advert staring in my face, demanding my attention. And I told him. This is New Zagreb. It was laid out when the country was still Yugoslavia. Housing was built with large green spaces between flats and wide streets with wonderful views. Since the country gained independence in 1991, it embraced some of the worst features of capitalism, and then began a rampant process of filling these spaces with billboards, making parts of the city rather ugly. Here, let me show you.
What do you think, Jeff? Not exactly Times Square, is it? So this building behind me is the State Television Centre. And like the BBC, we have to pay a licence fee. But unlike the BBC, they also carry adverts. And they always seem to use people with shouty, irritating voices. Have you ever noticed just how louder the adverts are than the programme you're watching? Thankfully, we have the greatest invention ever made, the remote control. I know that people need to advertise their product and sell it, but my objection is the aggressive nature by which they promote their product. But if there's one thing that I'm grateful for, is that it reminds me of all the things I don't need to buy. Never buy finished. I don't shop in Florida. I have a car. I have insurance. Never do the vacuuming. But in defense of Richard, he was not aware that the Jack and Jones logo on his sweatshirt was an advertisement. So that is my story of my issue with advertising. Oh, this. Oh, this? This is not advertising. This is hero worshipping.
Oh, there you go. Another special from Andrew Norris. Horrible, those T-shirts, those ones with Jack Jones on them and sort of advertising and all that sort of nonsense. Yeah, you wouldn't catch me wearing anything like that. Not the Vobie one-eyed Kenobi. Absolutely not likely. Thank you so much. That's so kind. I'm so pleased it fitted. And well done to Kevin and Jeff for conjuring up the idea and sorting it all out, which was superb. Really good. We love it. We love it. Going back to some of the comments there, Linda Kane says, positive reactions to the video. I assume you're talking about the video that I did this morning. Barry Stevens says, Richard, I know Cowplain well, where you spent your young years. My grandparents lived there. I don't really remember much about it, but I gather it's all built up like everywhere else now, all built up. That's why your hollyhocks are also struggling, says Linda Kane. Oh, they've all been put into the wrong compost. Oh dear, oh dear. But my hollyhocks are now in the genuine earth. They're in the genuine earth. The poppies are going well. They're sort of beginning to sprout up. Come Walk With Me says, my life is nothing special. No, really, it isn't. It's mundane as such. Yeah, I can't believe that. I'm sure there's something. Alex Sandal says Sunday was the day of roast dinner. Yeah, who used to go and have a roast dinner? Who still does a roast dinner on a Sunday? I would be interested to know about that. What else are we? You do your best work under pressure, says Jeff Kellison. That's very kind. I spent the first 10 years recording Life in the Village with 100 films. Can't get the Croats interested in their own culture. Isn't that a shame? But I think that's true, isn't it? A lot of people, just think that what they have is not interesting to other people, and I think that's the thing about human nature. We love stories. That's why people watch films and drama. And if only instead of watching the television and made up stuff, they looked around the drama of their friends and families and nature, and neighbours rather, and got involved in that, I think they'd find a lot more interesting things. So there we go. Bill Stickers should be prosecuted, says Michael Angel. Quite right. Have they caught up with him yet? Glastonbury says, Vogue story, 1,293 views, 287 likes, and only 2 dislikes. Good gracious. I haven't looked, so that's fascinating. I will continue that. That will be my rainy day video. Because if it's sunny, one's got to get out and do something, haven't you? Or it's also my I'm too knackered to go out video type thing. Or I've got to go and do something else. So that's great. Anyway, everyone's loving Andrew's video, which is superb. Radio 4 still play the national theme at the end of every day. Is that true? They used to play, didn't they used to play what did they play in the morning? Oh, what was it called? Not Sail Away. It was something like that. There was a sort of composition. They would play a sailing theme or something. Linda Kane will know. Sean says that people who had a roast in the week were seen as posh in Wales. Oh yes, I'm having roast this Sunday. We're coming round to Richard Suggett's house on Sunday, by the way. Roast dinner sounds right. Sailing by, there we are. Sailing by, Days of Yore sailing by, Andrew Norris sailing by. Linda came a bit late with that. I'm waiting for him to come with me. Do you mean you were kept in the cellar? Yes, were you kept in the cellar? Fascinating stuff. How are we doing? It's 1:45. We've got one more video. We've got Gabriel's video. But before Gabriel's video, let's just go back to the phones. If anyone wants to give us a tinkle, you're very welcome. 07934746790. Sailing by, I do love the shipping forecast. Is he talking of the shipping report? Yeah, the shipping forecast that we have here in the UK. There are comedy versions of the shipping forecast, which are hilarious. Beatwriter says, love what you wrote. What did Beatwriter wrote? Is that... Oh, hang on, we have a phone call. Let's find out who's calling up on the old Vobie. Hello to you, caller.
Hello, it's Mr.
Shh. It's Ed Shush. Ed Shush, how are you?
Oh, very well, thanks, Richard. I hope you're doing well today.
I am, actually. Do you know, today I was thinking, I've got the best job in the world. Do you know, I was thinking about it. Yesterday, the last couple of days, I've been sort of on a slight downward fleck. Today, I'm back up, and I was thinking... I'm walking about on the South Downs. I'm filming myself. I'm having chats with walkers who were wandering around and they're interested in what I was doing, getting on my hands and knees, apparently photographing the ground. And I was having interesting conversations with them. And then I came back and I edited up something and I thought, that's not come out too badly. And then I'd read to some fantastic people live on the internet. And now I'm sitting here talking to some amazing people who've even phoned me. You know, what could be better?
and iPhoned as well.
Well, someone's
As well
got to
as the
ruin
amazing
it.
people.
Someone's got to ruin it for me. haven't they? No, of course. And you're one of the amazing people. Exactly. That's right, Ed Shush.
Anyway, I think you know the answer to the question from my perspective. I'd love to get down to the Romney Marshes, but I've got a question for you.
Right.
If you weren't the bored explorer, how about if there was two of you, and one of you had the day off, had the week off, and you could go anywhere, not to film and do your job, but for yourself? Where would you go?
Well, that is a question that would be difficult, because where would I go if I wasn't going to film? Even you ask Kevin Hall. I don't know if Kevin's there. He might be watching remotely. Sometimes he watches, but he's not on the keyboard. He's sort of pottering around. So if you're out there, Kevin, he will vouch for this. He's often said to me, he says, "Oh, Richard, let's just go out. Come out for a walk or something, and don't bring your camera. We'll just go out and have a chat and this, that, and the other, and maybe go to the pub or whatever." And I said, "But if we're going out somewhere for a walk, I may as well bring the camera, because it's another one in the can. I have to produce so many. It's like it just becomes by default to a degree. If I didn't do that, take a week off. It would be nice. I mean, it would be nice, but I am somebody who would have to have a objective. So I could go on a canal trip and enjoy that, but I would then say I'd go for 2 weeks and write a short book.
Yeah.
A short book, just the first draft, obviously, or at least sketch out most of it. That I'd have to have something that would occupy me. I am anybody who knows me is I can't sit still for very long.
Yeah. I've got a sneaky suspicion if you didn't have your media outlets, your YouTube channel, etc., you'd still be out filming, but maybe just for your own satisfaction, to have a record of the things around you.
Well, it's interesting you say that. I mean, for me, it's about having an audience. If I haven't got an audience, now that may sound very egotistical, and funnily enough, I try not to be. I mean, there's an element to me. The thing you see on the screen now, that same shameful bald-headed thing with the big mouth and the microphone, is a persona, really. But it is. But even so, it's still part of me, because it's a real part of me. I can switch it on and turn it off, but it's an actual part of me. I need that to perform. I need to do that. And I would be a bit over the top at home with, even nobody here. But there are times when I wouldn't necessarily go out and film just for the sake of it, because it's too much like hard work. But I would be interested in either learning something, doing a research project, like learning wildflowers. If you say, right, okay, you've got to have a week off and you can't film, I'd think, okay, I need an objective. I'm going to learn wildflowers, as many as I can, and maybe try and draw some, maybe try and paint some, or something. Yeah. Just, even though they would be really crap drawings, they may help me learn.
And that doesn't surprise me, though. I can imagine you love to learn new skills, and we can all see it from your videos. So, of course, there must be a bit of the real you in all your videos, obviously. So it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel that... I mean, the thing is, I feel that I can't waste the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be here tomorrow. I may...
I'm a bit of a time waster. I'm kind of the opposite. Sometimes I don't know what to do with myself, and I do end up wasting far too much time. But I'm hoping to change that. And filming videos has helped me a bit. It's given me a hobby and something to do without Grandad, So that's been quite nice. My last video, the part 3 of the Elton Park series I was sending in to you, has been an absolute disaster. I checked it today. I thought it was all finished, and I was very proud of myself. And I checked it, and it was full of wind noise, and it didn't get picked up on the laptop. And of course, I assumed it would be okay because the others were okay. So I'd left it for a few days. I was going to send it in today and plug the laptop into the telly. Lo and behold, horrendous wind noise. And of course, I lost my little microphone that I was using to record on. So I've recorded the last few with the sound from the phone, and that was absolutely heartbreaking because I spent about 3 days editing that video.
Oh no!
So I'm going to try something very outrageous. I'm going to try lip syncing to see if it works for a laugh, and it probably come off terrible. But I'm just going to see if it works. If it don't, then hey ho, I can just sort of overdub it with talking. So.
Loads of people do that, and it's something that I used to do a lot of, and I haven't done a lot of, and I really need to get back, because when filming in places like towns and things, and there's people about, it's very difficult to stand in front of a camera that nobody's operating. So it's easy when there's somebody with you, but when you're standing on your own and you're going, I want to do this piece to camera, and there's people walking past looking at you, and you feel like a bit of a twit standing there because there's nobody, you just feel vulnerable, very vulnerable, I suppose. So it's easier then to film all the other stuff, the cutaway stuff, and do a voiceover. And people, people do it really, really well. Gabriel does it incredibly well, and he's got his personality comes over, and we'll see in his video in a minute. His personality comes over. When he does it, and I think that's so you can overdub. Obviously, if all your stuff is shot with you to camera and there's wind noise, then that becomes very difficult.
Hence why I always get more B-roll than I really.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had an experience in another video back when I had hair, which you will be seeing eventually, and it just turned out atrocious with the wind noise. So I just thought, right, I'll just talk over the top of this, but.
But going back to your point about wasting time, I don't know how people do that. I don't know. As I said the other night, if I lie in and I'm still in bed at 8 o'clock, I am chastising myself, saying, my God, that's 2 hours gone. I will never get that time back. And it's not to say that I don't rest and I don't waste a bit of time when I'm cooking, perhaps watching a YouTube video on some rubbish that I'm, interested in, which is not really learning, but it's just sort of amusing me for short periods, like half an hour or something. But I can't, when people say, I have a duvet day, if a day goes past and I've not done something, and I keep a diary, a written diary. And if I've got nothing to write in the diary, I think, what did I do with myself? What have I done? That's a day wasted. I could be dead tomorrow. I don't want to be dead tomorrow. And I've got so many things I want to do, and I'm just trying to get them done. And at the moment, it's making a video every day for the next 2 years until this 5-year thing is. And I still want to write my books, but I know I can't fit those in at the moment, so I'm not even going to try. I'm enjoying seeing where this goes, and I'm not trying to promote it, just seeing if people gravitate to it and what the audience figures out over time, and if I can get better at it.
Well, you're definitely getting better all the time, I must say.
Well, I wasn't fishing. I
didn't
wasn't
think there
fishing.
was any room for improvement, but.
Well, I never know that I'm any good at what I'm doing, and that's I think the root cause of it is, for me, is I never think I'm any good at any of this. This is why I have to try and keep going and get better, because there's no time for complacency. I think that's what it is. So I envy you that you can take time out and just. I mean, I watched this thing.
Well, it's not something I particularly like doing. It's just become a way of life since Granddad passed away. It's, the days sort of all merging to one, and I think I do need to start keeping a diary, because I used to do that and I never wasted time. So perhaps all this time you've held the secret to record what you do and look back at it from time to time.
It just makes you aware of what you've done, I suppose. Yeah. But I did listen to this thing on the radio some years ago by the man who writes or edits a magazine called The Idler. And I think it's a paper for people who've got a lot of money, basically, because they can afford to be idle. But people, and the message is that you do need, physically, mentally, you need to be able to stop and just look at beautiful things, like go on a picnic in the countryside, stand in the rain, watch the snow coming down, listen to the thing, and slow down a bit. And I envy that, because I'm making my videos saying, look at this wonderful countryside, look at these lovely sheep, look at this lovely tree. But what I'm not doing is actually going and looking at those trees for more than it takes the 5-6 seconds to make the shot. And then, right, okay, I need a shot of that. I need a shot of that. I've got to get over there. I've got to get back because I'm doing a thing at 4. I've got to get this edited. And although it's like, all looks very nice, and that Vobes is walking about the countryside, all looks very nice. Because it's all lies. It's all lies.
I find it amazing that you managed to pull it off. I'm sorry, there was a comment about me being a crawler, but I do genuinely find that amazing because I'll walk around in my own little way trying to make my silly little films, and I already know these areas. I know the history. I don't have to go into Wikipedia and look them up because, you know, I've grown up with it. And if I haven't grown up with it, there'll be an elderly person that can tell me the history dating back, 80 years plus that I can speak to. So I can't imagine going somewhere I don't know and trying to make a record in any sense, whether it's a film, whether it's a book.
Maybe you should challenge yourself. Go somewhere that you don't know. Don't read up anything about it, because half of the fun and what I need to also, I still, after all this time, I still need to remind myself is I'm an explorer, not a historian, and just turn up and just see what you see. There's an old building. I think it's Georgian. Look at those tiles. They must be clay. They're hung tiles, and just describe what you see and walk around. Just describe what you see, because it makes you have to say something, and B, it gives you dialogue. It's like those windows. Look at those mean little windows in that house. How awful. There can't be much light. Makes you think about it. So what you're not doing is telling people stuff they're not interested. This house was built in 1735, and when it was built, it had a such and such roof on it. Now it's got a so-and-so. It's much more interesting if you say, look at those mean windows. I wonder how much light they had in there. Imagine on the other side of it must have been very dark, sitting there trying to read with a tallow candle. And what would they do? As soon as you start putting your thoughts into it, becomes interesting. Golly, I said something actually useful then. I said something. Eric, I just said something. Write it down. I might need that. Right, sir. Anyway, better go because we've got Gabriel's video to put on. Have you gone?
Okay, Richard. Have a nice evening. Bye, everyone.
Yep. You okay?
Yep.
Good. I thought you'd walked away from the phone.
No, goodness.
Oh, sorry. The sound just suddenly vanished. Anyway,
cheerio.
Look after yourself, Ed.
Will do. Take care.
Bye-bye. So there we are. That's a good idea. I know it's my idea, but I would challenge yourself to go somewhere just a bit different and see what happens. But yeah, obviously difficult with wind noise. Oh, that's the bugger of it all. Anyway, we're coming up to 9 o'clock now, aren't we? So let's get our last video of the day. Thank you so much for sending these videos in. Absolutely brilliant. So we'll go into the video box. And the last one now, tonight, on today's show, very excited, is young Gabriel. Now, when Julia and I went to Glastonbury 2 years ago, we had a long list of places we wanted to go to, and we only went for 2 nights, 3 days. And, 2 of those days, or half days, were travelling. So we were there, really, only for 1.5 days, which was a bit of a shame. And it rained on one of the days. So we didn't get to see half of what we wanted to see, and a lot of it was rushed, and it was the first time that Julia and I had gone together, and it was a strange, we were friendly or friends, but you're going away with somebody you don't know very well, and you've got this nice little it was a bed and breakfast, and we had our rooms, and we were just sort of working out how our relationship, if I can use that word, worked. And anyway, I don't know why I mentioned all that, but one of the places that we wanted to go to is where Glastonbury goes. We wanted to go and have a look up there because we were interested in heritage, landscape and nature, and there was so much up in Gabriel's area to see in Glastonbury. It was so lovely. But of course we couldn't get it all in, and Gabriel has made such a brilliant job of showing us all around, and this is one of the places we wanted to get to see. So Gabriel, take it away. Where are we? What are we seeing?
So today I've come to Bridie's Mound, one of probably the most ancient Christian sites, certainly in Somerset as far as I know. If you know more, tell me in the description below. Let's go and have a look.
Bridie's Mound lies about half a mile southwest of Glastonbury town centre, in an area known as Beckery. Shown on the map here in red, you can see it's close to Weir Hill, while over to the east lies the Tor. This is a really lovely area to walk and explore, and much loved by locals.
When people talk about the history of the church in Glastonbury, they're often referring to the Abbey, which at its earliest extent goes back to about 7th century. Well, they did some archaeology up here recently, 2016 I believe. I'll put a link in the description below. And basically, they discovered skeletons here, mostly male, or all male I believe, going back to the 5th century. So that means this is late Celtic, Marno-British people here. Very, very early church. This is a very important historic site. I've not been here for many years. I think the last time I came here was about 10 years ago. But ever the intrepid explorer on your behalf, I've decided to come down here today and have a little look. So let's go and explore.
Believe it or not, this area was threatened with development from the nearby moorland site. So, in November 1995, the Friends of Breed's Mound were formed to ensure the area was kept for the local community and visitors. In 2000, they gave evidence at the public inquiry for the local district plan and gained the support of the inspector. Then, finally in 2005, the purchase of the 3 fields that make up the site went through. The area known as Breeds consists of 25 acres reaching all the way to the River Brue. After many years of neglect, the land is now responding to the love and care from the Friends with support from Somerset County Council. So here we are at the summit of Breed's Mound. As you can see, it isn't a massive climb. It will certainly never be classed as a mountain, but it is a very special site, both historically and spiritually. And you can imagine when the levels are flooded, this would have been visible for a great distance, especially with the chapel built on the top.
There we go. How about that? Marvellous as ever. Thank you so much, Gabriel. Looking forward to meeting you. And yeah, one of the places we wanted to go and have a look at, so many, and you've covered so many of the other places that are on our list, although I'm sure there's loads to see. The Somerset levels fascinate me as well, I suppose because they're level and they're in Somerset. No, just that whole thing about not mining, what do they call it? The irrigation thing where they get rid of the water and they do the trenches and stuff. And of course, I did a video for the Western Zoyland thing, the bridge, what was it? The Battle of Bridgewater in 1685. The Duke of Monmouth. That's it. His story is fascinating. I'd like to follow that. I would like to follow. I know I'd say I'm not a historian, and I'm not a historian as such. You know, I haven't studied anything and all that. But I would like to. I do find the some historical stories interesting, and would love to sort of follow like the Duke of Monmouth's journey from where he came in at Lyme Regis, and follow his journey when he was trying to build up a following in the West Country, and then eventually, of course, you led to the Battle of Bridgewater, and it all went horribly wrong. Anyway, yes, that's it really, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. We didn't so much answer where people wanted to go, although people did make some comments, which is fantastic. Thank you for all your comments. Some lovely bits and pieces here. Linda Kane says, sometimes I sits and thinks, and sometimes I just sit. Yes, that's true. Michael Angel says, I do a lot of standing and staring, and I think this is because... what is this life? It's full of care. We have no time to stand and stare. Edward Moulding also said that. William Henry Davis said that originally, of course. Other people just quoting him. So there we go. Maybe you both said that at the same time, which is interesting. Great thoughts, think alike. Walking is great thinking and problem solving, says Beach writer. Nature is so fulfilling, and when combined with history, amazing. Absolutely true. I think that's right. And Robert Crosser reminds that the Chap, that was a magazine as well. I think the Idler was a different magazine. The one that I heard the interview was from somebody who wrote for the Idler. On Saturday we delivered the Sunday joint, says Edward Moulding, on the trades bike. Pep's not having refrigerator from a shop on Tevill Road is facing South Farm Road as a 13-year-old in the late 50s. On Saturday we delivered the Sunday joint. Oh, right. On the trades bike. Oh, right. Oh, okay. People not having a refrigerator. And you did it from a shop in Tevill Road facing South Farm Road. 13-year-old in the 1950s. Good for you, Edward. How fascinating. Are you still in Worthing? You're only round the corner then. Henry's Adventure says, I can't stand a day without doing anything. It's like I've lost a day in my life. I'm completely with you there, Henry. And I think, Henry, you said earlier another interesting point was, like Richard, I like to film for an audience to watch. It's just part of my DNA. If you're going to perform, I think the one bit of training that I did that has been, had psychology rather in it was when I went to mime school. And yes, I learned how to do all this and pulling invisible strings and all of that kind of stuff. But there was also a lot of psychology about it. And my teacher, Desmond Jones, always used to say, naked man on a naked stage. Basically, you come out with nothing and you're going to make something out of nothing. And it was very true that, people don't do mime for the benefit of their health. Sometimes people, use a bit of theatre and drama for various things, but you don't do mime for the benefit of your health. And it's the same with filmmaking, I think. They're very similar things. Filmmaking or, film production and mime, because in mime you have to concentrate the viewer on where you want them to see or what you want them to look at, or they'll miss it. So whether you have absolutely the stage totally still and only one thing moves, and you can direct the attention of the audience to that one thing, so you could look at something and just move, subtly, and the audience. And it's the same with filmmaking, only you just cut the frame to the shots you want people to see. But you don't do it for your health. That was the point I was making. So when I do something, it's always within you always think, what does the audience see? And I see so many videos that people make, they're not really thinking about what is the audience getting from it. And if you ever see me interviewing people and people explain about what they do, I'm always thinking, does the audience understand that? If they use an acronym, you'll hear this on interviews professionally, of course, but I've picked up on that. Somebody says, whatever the RAC. I mean, when I called up the RAC, and you'd say, well, the Royal, whatever, the Automobile Club or whatever it is. You're always trying to interpret so that because most people might know exactly what it is, but there'll be somebody who doesn't know, and I'm trying to act as the middle person. So you're always aware of the audience. And especially when I'm filming, it's like, can they understand what I'm talking about? Half the time, they probably don't understand what I'm talking about, but I'm trying to. I'm thinking, do they get this? Have I gone on long enough? Yes, I better end the show. Good idea. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. It's been so great to do this. This is a fantastic job, especially if I can make it pay. And I'm very thankful to my lovely patrons who do support me and appreciate, and all the emails. I got a lovely letter today. Sorry, it's in the other room. I got a lovely letter from a lady called Chris, in Florida, about 11 sides of writing on a letter to me from the States. She texted me on Facebook and said, "Can I send you a letter?" And I said, "Well, yes, of course." So I gave her my address, and about 2 weeks later, this letter has arrived. Beautiful written letter telling me what she likes about the videos that I do and a bit about herself and various things. So nice, so nice. And Pamela Green sent me some books related to what I do. This is Picturesque Sussex. I was showing other people. A Song for Every Season, which is another lovely book on Sussex. People are so kind, and this is just a magical job, and I, you know, the joy that I get from it, I try to funnel if I can to the audience. Anyway, gone on too long. Take care. Have a nice evening, whatever you're doing, and I'll see you again tomorrow. I've got hopefully an interesting video for you tomorrow. Got to plan what I'm doing, where I'm going tomorrow for filming, because at the moment I haven't even got that worked out. Oh dear, better do that. Take care. Nice to see you. Look after yourselves. Thanks for coming along. Thanks to Julia and Judith. Thanks for everybody watching, and I will see you anon. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye. And nothing happens. Hang on a minute. Do that again. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.